This week on LandLeader Television.
We are the leaders of the land. Land is what we live on. It can be explored, built upon, and cultivated. Land holds our wildlife, crops and livestock, and the homes in which we live. It provides a resource for your family. It's what our forefathers settled and our brave fight to protect. It asks that you respect it, keep it free, and put back what you have taken. At times, it's purchased, sold, and traded, and it's passed on from generation to generation. So it's our duty as land brokers to be champions of conservation, habitat management, and ownership. We possess a deep love for our land and respect for all it provides. We are LandLeader.
LandLeader Television is brought to you by LandLeader, exclusive properties worldwide. Mahindra, toughest utility vehicles on Earth. Gunworks, 1,400 yards right out of the box. Cinch jeans and shirts. Lead, don't follow. And by participating farm credit locations.
I'm Greg Little with Hayden Outdoors, affiliated with LandLeader. I'm based out of Durango, Colorado. Today we're out on the Turner Ranch, La Junta, Colorado. One of my most exciting listings today. It's very difficult to find ranches with this kind of water, minerals intact, a working farm, cattle operation carrying approximately 450 head of cattle on an annual basis. What makes the Turner Ranch so incredible is the amount of water this ranch has. Water rights go all the way back to 1898, as well as the Fort Lyons Canal. So the ranch has some incredible water rights that are also hard to duplicate.
I'm Sam Turner. I'm with Turner Ranch Incorporated. I become acquainted with this place in 1964. And we rented it for 10 years, and then in 74, we bought it and started building stuff in 74, and moved over here in 75, lived here ever since. Oh, we farm a little bit under the Fort Lyons Canal. We farm for the cattle, is what we do with that, and they've done well, and the cattle kind of support the farming operation, but they both go together real well.
This portion of the show is brought to you by Mahindra and participating farm credit locations. It's about people far and wide, from coast to coast. The farmers, the ranchers, their cattle and crops, weekends in the woods, blueberries, peaches, a fishing pole, and your grandpa's rifle. Best friends, the love of your life, our children. It's about making this real. We've been financing your life for more than a century. We're Farm Credit. We're here to help you grow.
Landowners, don't settle on a tractor just because of the paint color. Choose the power and performance of a Mahindra, the toughest tractors on Earth. Only Mahindra tractors deliver more lift capacity, more built-in weight, and the industry's best 7-year limited powertrain warranty. Standard. And right now, get it all for less than $95 a month. So get your work done, America.
Looking to sell your ranch or farm? Visit LandLeader.com to learn about our exclusive network of the best farm and ranch brokers across the country. LandLeader member brokers are the leaders in their areas, representing the finest properties and providing their clients with the most property marketing in the nation. From ranches and farms to sporting properties and vacant land, we're the largest land marketing company in America. Give us a call or visit LandLeader.com today.
This segment of LandLeader TV is brought to you by Hayden Outdoors.
Well, everything you see we've built, we tore down everything that was here and rebuilt everything that was here, and we've gradually, improved everything. We've got a nice cabin barn that I'm pretty proud of, and the working corrals here in another place that's real good. Our pole corrals that we brand in and stuff like that are real, nice facilities. Originally, we was in the registered Hereford business. Father started that in 1946, I believe, and then we raised bulls up until the mid-90s. So then we've just kind of phased out the bull deal and just strictly stuck with Hereford cows and a Hereford bull, and we've enjoyed them all these years. The water system, the Fort Lyon Canal, this place has also got the Canada ditches on this place. And we got 20 CFS on here, and we used to farm 460 acres here, and then we kind of cut it back to 400. In the last few years, we kind of started planting it back to grass. Under the Fort Lyon Canal, there's usually enough water down there, and we'll raise alfalfa, something to feed a cow. This place up here's got right at 4,000 acres. Down below the canal's 900 and some, and then we got 520 units in Timber Lake Ranch up there, which would be the equivalent of 10,000 acres. So it all fits together pretty good, and we go north in the summertime with the cattle and then bring them down in here in the wintertime, and it works well. There's mule deer and whitetail, and we've shot an elk here, and the antelope, you can shoot antelope during season pretty easily. Duck, goose, a turkey. The pheasant are starting to come back better. The deer, they do well, no problem there. And the turkeys, maybe they're getting a little too thick, I don't know. Too many of them things. About anything you'd want to hunt, I think we could find it for you maybe.
It's an absolute working cattle ranch that doubles as a sportsman's paradise, so it's got it all. And this is a very difficult ranch to duplicate anywhere in the western United States today.
This portion of the show is brought to you by Cinch Jeans and Shirts and by Gunworks Rifles.
He comes to this moment. This is what he's prepared for. He's learned the science of long-range shooting. He knows how to select the right gear and how to compensate for wind. He's practiced. He's trained. Now, at 880 yards, he is ready. Gunworks, Long Range University. Visit gunworks.com.
Now's a great time to buy your next farm, ranch, or recreational property. The premier broker members of LandLeader represent the finest properties available on the market today, from working cattle ranches to income-producing farm ground, equestrian facilities and agricultural land to sporting properties and land rich with mineral rights. Let the LandLeader network help you find your next piece of land. Tour thousands of properties for sale online at landleader.com.
Welcome to the Middle Fork Ranch. Over 3,000 acres of high mountain meadows, meandering river bottoms, and amazing vistas of Colorado's Rocky Mountains. This historic ranch is now for sale and includes 7 miles of world-class gold medal fishing on the South Platte River, cattle grazing ranch land, diverse hunting for big game, and convenient location just 2 hours from Denver near the town of Fairplay. Contact Dax Hayden today or learn more at HaydenOutdoors.com.
This segment of LandLeader TV is brought to you by Land and Wildlife.
We're at the Pocke Ranch here in Wallowa County, Oregon. We have known about this property for many, many years, and 12 years ago we decided we'd come in and take a crack at it, put it together. We had to put together 3 different pieces of property. We knew that we were looking at some serious overgrazing, bad fencing, all of these things which we've taken care of in the last 12 years, which opened up the wildlife corridors, made it a real interesting place for the elk. Well, one of the first things we addressed was taking out all the derelict fencing. 90% of it was already fallen down in ill repair, but it was still bad enough where it was blocking off a lot of the wildlife corridors. And the wildlife corridors were the big thing we wanted to open up. So we went to work, took out miles and miles of fencing. In the years prior to us owning it, I knew of 6 camps, at least 6 camps up top, which were parked right in the middle of the wildlife corridors. Consequently, there wasn't any elk on the ranch to speak of. There was approximately a dozen home places, old line shacks. All of them were in just total disrepair. On top of that, 2 or 3 barns at some of the old homesteads. I had a scrapper come in and work for a week hauling off from one area. And right now there's only one place on the whole ranch, and that's our home place right here. And then in this last year, we've got to see cows calve out on the ranch. Bulls come in and hide on the ranch. They come in here and hide when they get into their bachelor herds, and then they hide when they've lost their antlers. It's 12 years of hard work. We've seen the elk population come through here the way it should be, in a natural way, natural habitat. This is a big branch antler 6-point bull that we found today, just the broken top half of his antler. One of the forks is broken here and is broken off at the main part of his antler. This tells you that you have plenty of elk, plenty of big elk that are rutting on your property. When you find broken antlers like this just shows you how healthy and vigorous, what a wonderful place it is for the elk year-round, not just during the rut, but this shows you that they're there. So our goal has been to have a nice ranch for the wildlife, protect the land, and have a good place for grazing cattle, because they're part of your overall grazing program, and if you work them right, it works in the elk's favor. We have 25 flowing year-round springs. We have about 35 ponds, active ponds. I love the aspen trees. We have a lot of little aspen groves, a lot of new aspen coming. Other things that I appreciate is the view. And then where we have the home place here, we're underneath the snow line, and I really appreciate that.
I love the seclusion of it. I just feel, I enjoy all of God's creation here. I love the wildlife. The quail come and talk to me. We love it. Oh, we have a little lawn bot that mows our lawn, and we call her Clipper. And she keeps our lawn just absolutely perfect. Looks like a golf course all the time, and all we do is sit out there, and all of our guests really enjoy sitting there and watching Clipper with us.
When you're up on top, particularly on a clear day, you can look over and see the high Wallowas, and up in the distance you can see some of the peaks in Washington, and then the Seven Devils in Idaho. They just shine at times. This morning we're up there and saw those bulls pecking around on the hillside in the timber. That's looking at 12 years of hard work coming to fruition. And that brings tears to my eyes.
This segment is brought to you by LandLeader, exclusive properties worldwide.
Land is where it all begins. From farmland and working cattle ranches to hunting properties and recreational retreats. We aren't your typical real estate agents. We choose boots over dress shoes and trucks over sports cars any day. We hunt, fish, raise cattle, and grow crops. We understand land.
Stuck in the weeds? Get your hands on the new Brush Dog dual cutting trimmer head. The Brush Dog combines heavy-duty string line with stainless steel blades, giving you the cutting power to rip through any grass or brush that gets in your way. There's no need to change from string to metal blades, and with a universal fit, the Brush Dog is guaranteed to work with nearly every commercial trimmer. Visit BrushDog.com for more information and purchase yours today. Brush Dog.
This segment of LandLeader TV is brought to you by Land and Wildlife.
One of the neat things about the Northwest, and especially Oregon and Washington, is that the land values are where Colorado and Montana were 25 years ago. People are just now starting to realize how beautiful Oregon and Washington is and the value that you can get for your dollar. The Pocke Ranch is not only a beautiful place in northeastern Oregon outside of the town of Joseph, it's also been conserved and turned back to the wildlife. Bruce and Venice Hampton, the owners of the Pocke Ranch, are absolutely salt of the earth kind of people. I've gotten to know them over several years. Bruce and Venice have worked for 13 years to remove the influence of man on the land by removing buildings and fences and improving the habitat strictly for the wildlife. The amount of wildlife on the property is it's unbelievable. They've really sunk their heart and soul into the property, have tried their very best to relinquish the property back to the way it used to be. There are numerous springs, creeks, and ponds on the property to the point of water is not an issue anywhere on the property and is evenly distributed through the use of storage ponds and also live springs that have been cleaned but not developed. There's one portion of the property that's pretty unique. On the road up to the top of the ranch, there's exposed on one side volcanic ash, and the deer and elk absolutely love it. You'll find them there all the time. They come and eat the ash. You can even see their teeth marks in the side of the bank. The most effective way to conserve private land is through a conservation easement. There's approximately 460 conservation easements across the state of Oregon. About 190 of them are held by land trusts and the remainder by the government, mainly NRCS. That equates to about 150,000 acres that are in conservation easement in A conservation easement is one of the most common forms of preserving special lands. It's negotiated between the landowner and land trusts to limit the commercial, industrial, and residential uses of the land. Because the property rights that are relinquished by the landowner have value, then they come with a substantial tax deduction from both the state and federal governments. Conservation easements are recorded with the county and show up on any deeds. The Pocke Ranch is ideal for conservation easement because it butts up against the Zumwalt Prairie on the north end of the property. The Zumwalt Prairie is owned by the Nature Conservancy. It's 50,000 acres of land that's been set aside. I have one of the greatest jobs in the world. I tell everybody I get paid very well to see all these beautiful properties, spend my time showing these properties. I help people to fall in love with some of the properties they've purchased and have seen the extreme effect it's had on them and their children and grandchildren over the years. I really enjoy what I do. I think one of the things that's so effective about LandLeader is that all the owners are selling real estate every day. They're in the trenches every day. None of us are sitting behind a big desk and haven't been exposed to the outside real estate world in the last 15 years. We're all out there working hard to sell land, and I think that's a big plus of what makes LandLeader so strong today.
We have many mountain quail all around our home here, and they choose a little spot right up generally by the woodshed where they nest. And it's really neat because lots of times I'll be at the back door and I'll start talking, and by golly, they'll come right up to the window almost, and as if they hear me, and they know me, I guess. They're used to our voices because we sit out on the porch many evenings, and they just will walk right by us. It's really fun.
One of the things that Bruce and Denise have done on the ranch is help some terminally ill patients with their final wishes that they'd always wanted to hunt elk. Hunting elk on the Pocke Ranch is so exciting. It's designed really well for all aspects of hunting, whether it's long distance shooting, whether it's young kids, even all the way to bow hunting. The ranch covers it all.
One of the best things that's come into our lives in the last 2 years, we've been able to give back. 2 years ago, we had a young lady that had multiple health problems, and her desire was to get a nice bull, and we were able to accomplish that. This last year, we had a young man that was dying of brain cancer, and he's not got long to go, and his dying wish was to have him and a 6-year-old together when he'd get the first bull of his life, and we were able to accomplish that, and that really touched our hearts. Tim and I hit it off years ago. He came by and we hit it off, so when I really decided to get serious, we wanted LandLeader and Tim's expertise, the coverage that he has, and the honesty that he's shown over the years that we've known him. He'll tell you the same old elk story or what have you, and by golly, it's the same year after year, so we know he's pretty straight. We've decided to sell because we are getting a little bit older. We, of course, are going to help fund our retirement, and we want to work with our charities that we've worked with over the years, and we'll be able to do it at a much greater pace.
I'll really miss living here because it's a part of our art. So it's really going to be hard to leave.
For more information on how to feature your property on LandLeader TV, please visit landleader.com.